job, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're gonna start with you discussing about the reasoning here that we are dealing with. And in reasoning, we had done your non-verbal reasoning where we are starting with the cubes and dice here. And in this, this has been the class as your 219th class of the sessions as well. As you know, we had completed your 218 classes in the last classes. That's what we had discussed here. In terms of there, we had completed your verbal reasoning here, that has been the general mental ability and the logic reasoning. In general mental ability, we had done your analogy, classification, series completion, coding, decoding, blood relation, puzzle test, sequential output tracing, prediction sense test, logical Venn diagram, alphabet test, number ranking, time sequence test, mathematical operations, logical sequence of words, arithmetic reasoning, inserting the missing character, data sufficiency, decision making, assertions and reasons, situation reaction test, and verification of the truth of the statement as well. In logic reasoning, we have to cover up the logic, statement argument, statement assumption, statement course of action, statement conclusion, deriving conclusion from passages, theme detection, question statement, miscellaneous logical puzzle as well. In terms of non-verbal reasoning, where we have to cover up there we had cover up your series, analogy, classification, analytical reasoning, mirror image, water image, embedded figure, completions of incomplete pattern, figure matrix, paper folding, paper cutting, rule detection, grouping of identical figures, cubes and dice, and that we are dealing as here. Now in cubes and dice, even though we had completed your 82th question in the last classes, before starting with this, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers to please go through the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even you can also enjoy the video as well. We'll go ahead with 83rd question of the sessions here. So the 83rd question states that here that a cube is colored red on two opposite faces, blue on the adjacent here, that is on the adjacent face, and yellow on the two remaining faces. It is then cut into two halves along the plane parallel to the red faces. One piece is then cut into 4 equal cubes and the other one into 32 equal cubes. Now answer the following question based on the above statement here. This has been the important one because this has been asked in your hotel management question paper as well. So we'll go ahead for the same. A cube is colored red on two opposite faces, blue on two adjacent faces, and yellow on the two remaining faces. It is then cut into two halves along the plane parallel to the red faces. One piece is then cut into 4 equal cubes and the other one into 32 equal cubes. This has been asked in hotel management question paper as well. So the question has been asked here is your 84th question that has been asked: how many cubes do not have any colored face? How many cubes do not have any colored cubes that we have to talk colored face that we have here? So the options for the same, we have 0, 2, 4 and 8 here, that what we have to talk about it, and that is being the important as well, and that is even though important too. So on the same cases we go ahead here, and that the following figure that shows cube which is colored and cut as stated in the question. So a figure may be analyzed by assuming the larger cube that will be made up of 3 vertical layers. So we'll draw first that, and then after that we'll go ahead for the solution. So this has been representing like this. So here it is. This is how it is representing. This has been red color. So, and this has been yellow color, and this is a white green. This has been the blue color here. Okay, and this is layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. We have 1, 2, and 3 here. So that we'll talk about it. For on the basis of this, that the question has been asked, how many cubes do not have any colored faces? So 4 central cubes in layer 2 do not have any colored faces here. So we'll be having an answer that is that is what we have to answer it as the 4 color. That will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead with another question that has been asked here as being how many cubes do not have any red face here. So we'll go ahead for the same. That is your 85th question of the sessions. How many cubes do not have any red face? For the same, we have an options here, and that what we have to talk about it. So the options we have is your 8, 16, 20, and 24. We'll go ahead for the solution for the same as well, and that is being representing here, and which is even though important too. So here that the 16 cubes in layer 2 do not have any red faces, so the answer we'll get is your 16. We'll go ahead with another question that we have to talk about it, which is being the important as well. So we'll go ahead for the same, and that the question we have as follows is the 86th question of the session. The question is, how many cubes have at least 2 colored faces? How many cubes have at least 2 colored faces? Options we have 20, 24, 28, and 32. So for the same, we have to answer it out as well. All the 4 cubes in layer 1 have 3 colored faces. 4 cubes in the corner layer second have 2 colored faces, and except for the 4 central cubes, all remaining 12 cubes in layer third have 2 or the 3 faces colored. Thus there are 4 plus 4 plus 12, and 4 plus 4, 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 cubes having at least 2 colored faces here. We'll talk about the another one we talk here, and that has been the another question as well, and that has been, how many cubes have each a yellow face with other faces blank? 87th question. How many cubes have each a yellow face with other faces blank? The options for the same we have 4, 14, 16, and 17. So we'll go ahead for the same, that what we have to talk about it. So there are 4 cubes each having 1 yellow face and all other faces blank. So these cube lies in second layer, and for the same we have your answer, and that will be the 4 will be the right answer for this question as well. We go ahead with another, and then the next question that we have here is how many cubes have at least one blue face here? This has been 88 question here. How many cubes have at least one blue face? Options we have 4, 14, 16 and 20. So we'll go ahead for the same. So here that all the 4 cubes in layer 1 and 8 cubes in each of the layer 2 and 3rd that have at least one blue face. Thus there are 4 plus 8 is equals to 20 such cubes we have. Now we'll go ahead with another one that what we have to talk about it, which has been the important one as well, and that is also an important one with reference towards it. We'll go ahead, that is we have to talk about it. The 13th question on the that is we have your the 89th question of the sessions as well. So we'll go ahead, and that has been the important one here. 89th question of the session. The question is, a cube is painted red on 2 adjacent faces and one on opposite face, yellow on the 2 opposite faces and green on the remaining faces. It is then cut into 64 equal cubes, and this has been asked in your SSC examination paper. So first I will write it down for the same. A cube is painted red on 2 adjacent faces and on one opposite face, yellow on 2 opposite faces and green on the remaining face. It is then cut into 64 equal cubes. This has been asked in SSC examination paper as well. So the questions we have is the 90th question here is, how many cubes have only one red colored face? Okay, this has been, as I told you, been asked in SSC examination paper. The options we have 4, 8, 12 and 16. So for the same we have to talk about it, and that has been the 13th, that has been the 19th question of the sessions as well. So on the same we'll just draw the figure here, and so that it will show the cube which is painted as stated in the questions here. So which is going to be as follows. This is green here. The top color is your red. This is side 1 is green. This is side 2 is your yellow color. This is being the bottom is red here, and that side 3 is also the red, and this is being the yellow. This is being green as well. So I just named it out here. And for them, this is the cube is divided into 64 smaller cubes. We get the figure as to be shown that has been representing here. And where clearly the outer cubes of that have only one face red colored, and all the other faces that uncolored are the 4 central cubes at each of the 3 faces of the larger cube, and that the top side and the bottom. So there are 4 into 3, which is in 12 such cubes that we have as an answer here. Now we will go ahead further, which is we'll talk about the another important question as well, and that has been the next question here, which has been the 91st question of the sessions here. So the question being as follows. 91st question of the sessions here. The question states that Some equal cubes are arranged in the form of the solid block as discussed in the adjoining figure. All the visible surfaces of the block except the bottom are then painted, so that for that way we have to talk about it and we have to answer it out as well. So we'll go ahead for the same. Some equal cubes are arranged in the form of a solid block as shows in the adjoining figure. All the visible surface of the block except the bottom are then painted, so that we have to talk about it. So in the case that the question we have is your 92th question that we've been asked here. The question is, how many cubes do not have any of the faces painted? How many cubes do not have any of the faces painted? The options we have 27, 32, 36 and 40. For the same we have to talk about it as well. In the figure there are the 16 columns of 5 cubes each and 9 columns of 4 cubes each, that is a total of 116 cubes. So the cubes having at least one of their faces painted are then 16 columns of 5 cubes each placed along the periphery and 9 cubes on the top. Thus the number of cubes having at least one face painted, so for the same it will be 16 into 5 plus 9 is equals to 89, and hence the numbers of cubes having no face painted, it will be 116 minus 89, that is being equals to 27, that we have as an answer here. Okay, now we'll go ahead for the next. We have so we'll go ahead with a 93rd question of the session, that what we have here. So the question states that here, how many cubes have only one face painted here? That's what we have to talk about it. So we'll go ahead. How many cubes have only one face painted? That has been the question has been asked. So the options for the same we have 9, 45, 57 and 62. So we'll go ahead for the same as I told you about it. So for that way, that what we have to talk about it, and that even though we have to answer it out. So on the same basis here, that the cubes having only one face painted are the 12 central cubes on each of the side of the black block and 9 cubes on the top. So that you have to note that the bottom surface of the block is not painted. So on the same cases we have 4 into 12 plus 9. So 4 into 12 plus 9 is equals to 57 cubes have only one face painted. Okay, now we'll go ahead further, which we'll talk about it, and that has been the another important questions here. So let's go ahead for the same, and the question is the 94th question of the sessions, and that being said here, is that is being important too, and that is being how many cubes have only two face painted. How many cubes have only two face painted, that we have to find out. So on the same cases here, that has been important too. So that has been painted, and that what we will have to answer it out as well. So how many cubes have only two face painted? So the options we have 0, 16, 20 and 24 as well. So for the same, that the cubes having only two faces that painted are 4 cubes along each of the vertical edges, that leaving the top one in each of these edges, and thus there are 4 into 4, that is mean your 16 cubes, 16 such cubes, and that will be the right answer for this question as well. Now we'll go ahead with another one, that what we have to talk about it, and that has been the another and the last question for this type of a questions. Yeah, that has been the 95th question of the session, that has been how many cubes have only 3 phases painted. This has been the question here, and that has been the options we have is 4, 12, 16 and 20, and for the same we have to find out the answer as well. So here, that the cubes placed on the top at all the 16 columns that forming the boundary of the block, and that are the ones which have exactly 3 faces painted, and thus there are 16 cubes having 3 faces painted here. Okay, now we go ahead for the another one which we'll talk about it, and that has been the important question as well. So that has been here as the question has been said, a solid black is formed, that is by arranging some cubes of equal dimensions as shown in the adjoining figure. Whole of the block except the base has been colored pink. Answer the question based upon this information here, so that we have to draw it, and that we'll have to find out. First I will write it down the question, that has been the 96th question of the session. So the question states that here is a solid black is formed by arranging some cubes of equal dimensions as shown in the adjoining figure. Whole of the block except the base has been colored pink. Answer the questions that is based upon this information. So we have here it is being represented like this only. This is good like this only. There have a block been that continued here. Okay, so this is what like it is. The question is being said, the first question for that particular information that the question is being said here is how many cubes have four faces colored. The options we have 0, 1, 2, 3 here. So for the same we talk about it, and that is mean the answer for the same is that for according to the given figure that may be analyzed by assuming the block to be made up of four horizontal layer that has to be shown in that joining figure. In layer 1 there are the two cubes that having a four faces colored here, and the five cubes have three faces colored and two cubes having two faces colored as well. In layer 2 that there are the two cubes having a three faces colored, four cubes having a two faces colored, and eight cubes having one face colored, and one cube having no face colored. In layer third there is one cube having three faces colored, and three cube having two faces colored, and eight cubes having one face colored, and four cubes having no face colored here. In layer 4 there are 4 cubes having 2 faces colored, 8 cubes having 1 face colored, and 4 cubes having no face colored as well. So on the same cases there are 2 cubes in layer 1 having 4 faces colored here, and on the same cases we have as an answer is would be your, that has been the 2 here, that will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead with another question that we have to talk about it, and that has been the important one as well. That has been 97th question of the sessions here. So 97th questions of the sessions that we have here is that has been asked as well. So the 97th question is being how many cubes have exactly three faces colored? How many cubes have so how many cubes have exactly three faces colored? The options we have for the same is your that is three faces colored. So yes, of course the options we have 2, 4, 8 and 11, that what we have to talk about it. So here that the where we can say that there are the 5 cubes in layer 1, 2 cubes in layer 2 and 1 cube in layer 3 having three faces colored. So thus there are 5 plus 2 plus 1, 5 plus 2 plus 1, it is equals to 8 cubes. That will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead with another question that we have to talk about it, and that has been the important one as well. So on the same behalf of it, that has been the important as here. So we have your 98th question of the sessions as well. The question is being how many cubes have exactly two face colored here? So basically how many cubes have exactly two faces colored that we have. So the options we have 9, 11, 13 and 15. So that we have to solve it out as well. So that is we have to go ahead on the same behalf of it. So we'll solve it out. For the same that there are the 2 cubes in layer 1, 2 cubes in layer 2 and 3 cubes in layer 3 and 4 cubes in layer 4 that having a two face color. So thus there are we have 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 13. So we have 13 will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead with another important question that has been the another different questions here, that has been your 99th question. As I told you, we'll reach more than 100 question in the next coming class. So yes, we are reaching. So the question is how many cubes have only one face colored? How many cubes have only one face colored. That is being the options we have 22, 24, 25 and 27. For the same we have to talk about it as well. So where we go ahead, and that is being there are 8 cubes in layer 2 and 8 cubes in layer 3 and 8 cubes in layer 4 having only one face colored. Thus there are 8 plus 8 plus 8, it is equals to 24 cubes. Okay, that is 24 such cubes that has been available here. Now we'll go ahead for the next one that we have to talk about it. That has been the another question: how many cubes are not colored on any face? 100th question: how many cubes are not colored on any face that we have? So the options we have is your 6, 8, 9 and 11. So on the same cases we have to find out that there is one cube in layer 2, 4 cubes in layer 3 and 4 cubes in layer 4 having no face colored. So thus there are 1 plus 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4 8 plus 1 9, that is 9 such cubes we have. Okay, that will be the right answer for this question as well. Now we'll go ahead for the next question, that what we have to talk about it, and that has been the important one as well. So which has been the question is that the minimum number of colors required to paint all the sides of the cube that no two adjacent face may have the same color is. This has been asked in MBA examination paper, and that has been the important one as well. So we'll go ahead for the same here. 101th question. Question is the minimum number of colors that we have, that has been, so where we have your that is be the minimum numbers of colors that is required that to paint all the sides of a cube that no two adjacent faces. So on the same cases we have your answers there. So that has been the two adjacent faces, and that we talk about it, and that may have the same that is your colors. Is this has been asked in MBA examination paper, that is very important. So the options we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, that we have 4, or we can say that a 6 here as well, that can be. So we'll find out for the solution for the same here. So opposite phases that can have the same color, and there are 6 phases in a cube. So we have the answer is 6. Now we'll go ahead with another question that we have to talk about it, and that has been the important one as well. So on the same case, this has been the 3 here. So with the same we talk about it, and that has been the 3 here. That will be the right answer for this question. Now we'll go ahead with 102th question of the sessions as well. That has been the question has been that three adjacent faces of a cube are colored blue. The cube is then cut once horizontal and once vertically to form a four cuboidal of equal sizes. Each of these cuboids is colored pink on all the uncolored faces and is then cut as before into the four cuboids of equal sizes as well. There are some questions as well, that what we have to talk about it. Let's go ahead for the sessions as well. That is being the three adjacent faces of a cube are colored blue. The cube is then cut once horizontally and once vertically to form four cuboids of equal sizes, that equal size. Each of these cuboids is colored pink. On all the uncolored faces and is then cut as before into four orbitals, that is into four cuboids of equal size. This has been the questions here. So the sub questions we have your 103rd question, that has been said, how many cuboids have two faces colored pink? How many cuboids have two faces colored pink? So the options we have 1, 3, 4 and 6. So we'll go ahead for the same here. So here that the adjoining figure that will be shows the cube that colored and cut into the four cuboids, that as stated here in the question. So on the same cases, which is there are the four cuboids that are separated and colored pink on one colored faces, and each of these four cuboids is then cut into the four other cuboids as shown by the dotted line. That will be the figure that we get four sets of four cuboids each. So in set 1 and 4, that two cuboids have two faces blue and two faces pink, two faces uncolored each. Two cuboids have one face blue, three faces pink and two faces uncolored each. In set 2, that the cuboids of have two faces blue, two faces pink and two faces uncolored, and that is your in one cuboid that have faces blue, one face pink and two faces uncolored each as well. And one cuboid has one face blue, three face pink and three faces uncolored as well here. On the same cases in set 3rd, all the four cuboids have one face blue, three face pink and two face uncolored each. So for the same, that how many cuboids have two faces colored pink here, in this respect, that there are the two cuboids in set 1, two cuboids in set 2 and two cuboids in set 3 having two faces pinks in each. So thus there will be your 2 plus 2 plus 2, it will be equals to 6 such cubes here that has been available. Now we'll go ahead for the next question for the same, that what we have to talk about it, and that has been the important one as well. So here we go ahead, and that has been the important, that has been 104th question of the sessions here. How many cuboids have three faces colored pink? How many cuboids have three faces colored pink? This we have options, we have 9, 7, 5 and 3. So with the same we have to talk about it, and that is there are two cuboids in set 1, one cuboid in set 2, four cuboids in set 3, and two cuboids in set 4 having three faces pings each. So thus there are 9 such cuboids. Now we'll talk about the another one that we have to discuss here, which is being the another important question, that is how many cuboids have three faces colored blue. How many cuboids have three faces colored blue? That we have, so the options for the same is 4, 2, 1 and 0. And on the same cases here for the same, that there is only one cuboid having three faces blue, so this cuboid lies in set 2 here only. And for the same we have your answer is your 1, so that will be the right answer is your 1. Okay, now we'll go ahead with another question, that what we have to talk about it, and that has been the another important one as well. So we have your questions here, that has been the another 106th question of the session. The question is, in an adjoining figure, there are the 27 cubes numbered from 1 and 2 to 27. Answer the question that follows here. So that has been the question there itself. So we have your figure, of course, and then we'll solve it out for the same. So I will just draw the figure first here. So this is being representing here. So it will be like this. Okay, so it will be like that only. So we have here, so just I write it down here only. This has been the 1, 2, oh sorry, 1, 3, then 5, 7, 9. Okay, so on the 9 here it is like that only. Okay, so it will be here. This has been the 10, and here it is your 11, 13, 15. Then we have here is after 10 it is your fold it upward, and that is being folded upward, and then we have your this one. Okay, so after 15 this is being this is 10, we have your after 10 we have your 16 as well. So this is 16, we have your 22, then we have your 27, this is 26, 25, 24, 23, and this is 17, 19, 21, 17, 19, 21 as well, that has been representing here. So this is the sort of a figure that has been representing. Let's go ahead for solving it out the questions here. We'll go ahead with 106th question of the sessions here. So the question is, number of cubes which have maximum number of faces touching the other cube is. Number of cubes which have maximum number of faces touching the other cube is. The options we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we go ahead for the solution for the same as well. The question here that the numbers of each of the cube is to be given with number of its faces touching the other cube. So that will be having here is being for that it is here 1 is touching 2, 2 is touching 2, 3 is touching 4, 4 touching 4, 5 touching 4, then we have 6 touching 6 touching 4, 7 touching 4, 8 touching 4, 9 is touching 2, then 10 touching 2, then 11 touching 4, 12 touching 4, 13 touching 5, 14 touching 5, 15 is touching your 6, that is 15 is touching your 4, 16 is touching 4, 17 is touching 3, 18 is touching 4, 19 is touching 4, 20 is touching 5, then we have your 21 is touching 3, 22 is touching that is 4, 23 is touching 1, 24 is touching 3, 25 is touching 3, 26 is touching 3, 27 is touching 1 as well. This has been here. So according to the question, what they said is your number of cubes which have maximum numbers of faces touching the other cube here. So the cubes having the maximum numbers of faces touching other cubes are those touching 5 other cubes. So there are 13, 14 and 20. So there is 3 such cubes. Answer will get is 3. 3 will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead for the another one for the same, and that what we have to talk about it, and even though which has been important too. So we'll go ahead for that, and the question is number of cubes which have minimum number of faces touching the other cube is. So 106th question, 7th question we have is your number of cubes which have minimum number of faces touching the other cube that we have. So on the same cases we'll be having as an answer for the same, and that even though we have to talk about it. So for that the cubes having the minimum numbers of faces touching the other cubes and are those touching one cube only. So there are 23 and 27, so there are 2 such cubes here. So the answer we'll get here is 2. Now we'll go ahead with another questions here, that what we have to talk about it, and that is being the important one as well. So here we go ahead, and that has been here, that has been the 108 question of the sessions as well. So which of the cubes 3, 8, 20 or 27 touches the maximum number of cube? Which of the cubes 3, 8, 20 or 27 touches the maximum number of cubes? Options we have 3, 8, 20 and 27. So we'll be having is only the cube 20 touches 5 other cubes and maximum numbers of cubes as well. So we have your answer for the same is that is being the 20 here. So will be the answer will get is the 20. Now we'll go ahead with another questions that what we have to talk about it as well. So here that is being the another one, the 109 question. The question is, which of the cubes 6, 13, 19 or 25 touches maximum number of cubes that we have? Options is 6, 13, 19 and 25. So for the same we have to talk about it, which is being only the cubes 13 touches 5 other cube, that is maximum numbers of cubes. And so the answer we will be getting here is that is being your the 13. We'll go ahead with another question that what we have to talk about it is being the another one here, which is being the fifth that is being the 110th question of the session. The question states that which of the cubes, I just write it on the question once and then we'll go ahead for the solution for the same. 7, 21, 22 or 23 that touches minimum number of cubes that we have. So here the options is 7, 21, 22 and 23. So we'll go ahead for the same here, and that is being the answer we'll get here as well as being your that only the cubes 23 touches one other cube, that is the minimum number of cubes. So the answer we will be getting here, and that what we have to answer it out as well, is being the 23. Let's go ahead for the another one, and that is what the another question as well, and maybe it is your 111th question of the sessions as well. What cube is hidden under cube 19? What cube is hidden under cube 19? So the options we have 18, 20, 24 and 25. So we'll have solution for the same as your the cube the number of the cubes below any cube is one greater than that of the upper cube. So cube 20 lies between below cube 19. So the answer we'll get here is for this is being your the 20th cube we have as an answer. We'll get the another one that is being the another important questions here, and which is being 112th question. So the question is, what cube is hidden under cube 13? What cube is hidden under cube 13? So options is 5, 14, 15 and 19. So on the same phases we go ahead for the answer here, and that is being the cube that is being hidden below cube 13 is cube 14. Now we'll talk about the another questions we talk about here, which has been the important as well. So the question is being said as your 113th question of the session. How many cubes are hidden and so could not be numbered? How many cubes are hidden so could not be numbered? That has been the questions here. The options is 8, 6, 5 and 4. On the same behalf of it, the cubes are hidden as 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 18 and 20, which cannot be numbered. So since none of their faces is visible here, so the answer for the same we have here is being your 8. That will be the right answer for this question as well. We'll go ahead with another question that we have to talk about it, and that has been the another important question is being 114th question of the session. The question is, how many cubes have their faces touching 4 other cubes? How many cubes have their faces touching four other cubes that we have. So the options we have 9, 10, 12 and 13, and we'll have to find out for the same. So the cubes having their faces touching four other cubes is your, that is mean we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 5, 16, 18, 19 and 22. Thus there are 13 such cubes here. Now we'll go ahead with the next and the last question of this type of a question of cubes and dice here, which has been the 115th question of the sessions. So the question is being stated that the cubes having their 5 faces touching other cube are the cubes having their 5 faces touching other cubes are, this is in the question options we have 7, 14, 20, 13, 14, 20, 13, 18, 22, 13, 14, 18, 20, 22 as well. So on the same cases we have to find out for the solution for the same, where that the cubes 13, 14 and 20 have their faces touching 5 for the cubes here. And so for the same we have your answer on the same behalf of it is 13, 14 and 20. So 13, 14 and 20. So that is touching the 5 for the cubes here. So we'll be ending it up here only. Now in the next coming class we'll start discussing about the another important topic, and that is being your the another important, we'll start discussing about from 116th question of the sessions in the next classes. For in terms of cubes and dice only, we discuss about the constructions of boxes here. So other than that, it's a huge request to all the viewers to please go through the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel, so that many maximum people can get the information at once, and maybe you can also enjoy the video as well. Other than reasoning, if I'm talking about, we had completed your sociology and software engineering as well, and sociology and software engineering which we had completed here in the last classes, and where we had dealing with the chemistry of class 12, which is very important, and where we had discussed your unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, unit 5, unit 6, unit 7, unit 8, unit 9 and unit that some elements of the compound, that atomic numbers, symbols and molar masses as well. And other than that, we are dealing with some conversions as well on terms of it. Talking about the quantitative aptitude, that has been divided into two sections: arithmetical ability and the data interpretation. In arithmetical ability, we had done your operations on number, SCF as LCM of number, decimal fraction, simplification, square roots and cube roots, and then we had done your operations on numbers, and then we had done your averages, problems on numbers, problems on ages, stars and indices that we are dealing here. Other than that, we are talking about, so we are dealing with the DPMS of ER diagram, where we had done many different ER diagram. You can go ahead for the same. In terms of reasoning has been divided into two sections, which is the verbal reasoning and non-verbal reasoning. In verbal reasoning, we had completed general mental ability and the logic reasoning. In general mental ability, we had done analogy, classification, series completion, coding, decoding, blood relations, puzzle test, sequential output tracing, direction cells test, logical Venn diagram, alphabet test, number ranking, time sequence test, mathematical operations, logical sequence of words, arithmetic reasoning, inserting the missing character, data sufficiency, decision making, assertions and reason, situation, reaction, testing, verification of the truth of the statement as well. In terms of logic reasoning, we had completed your logic, statement argument, statement assumption, statement course of action, statement conclusion, deriving conclusion from passages, theme detection, question statement, miscellaneous logical puzzles. In terms of non-verbal reasoning, we had completed your series, analogy, classification, analytical reasoning, mirror image, water image, embedded figure, completions of incomplete pattern, figure matrix, paper folding, paper cutting, rule detection, grouping of identical figures as well, cubes and dice that we are dealing with. After completing that, we will start discussing about dot situation, constructions of squares and triangles, figure formation analysis, and then practice question paper here. So here we'll be ending it up, and it's a huge request to all the viewers to please go through the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel, so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and whether you can also enjoy the video as well. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.